I didn't want to lift it, didn't want to put big tires on it. And the Jeep started talking to me. Jeep since 1941 on the dash.
That hint was all Lawrence Reiner needed to turn his Jeep into a World War II tribute. We spoke to the Army veteran at the Schuylkill County Vietnam Veterans Memorial near Schuylkill Haven. Reiner brought the Jeep Wrangler last year and unveiled the black and white design on the 75th anniversary of D-Day.
I wanted to capture a feeling, you know, and these guys on the beaches that have already made it, looking to see that their comrades make it onto the beach, had to be a hell of a feeling for them.
Wolfpack Graphics near Harrisburg designed the D-Day tribute. There are 12 different pictures that are combined into one, lining both sides of the Jeep. The hood also has its own graphic.
These are the cliffs that we had to get up over, where the Germans were stationed. These are soldiers that already have made it onto the beaches. This is a picture as if you were on the beach looking out into the water as other soldiers are trying to get onto the beach.
Although the Jeep is in tribute for those who fought during D-Day, Reiner says it's important to remember those who fought and are still fighting for our freedom.
It's a time these young kids don't know nothing about, and I'm a veteran. My father's a veteran. My uncles, I have a nephew in the Navy. It's in our life, and we're proud of this country.
When were you born?
I was born in Lancaster County in 1925.
And what do you like to do?
Ride motorcycle.
If you give Ed Fisher 2 wheels, handlebars, and an open road, he will fly right on by. Fisher brought his first motorcycle, an Indian Scout pony, in 1941 and hasn't looked back. After celebrating his 94th birthday, the man from Shunk still loves to ride his bike in Sullivan County and beyond.
You're out in the open, you can see your surroundings much better, and normally it's nice, fresh air.
Fast Eddie is a documentary on YouTube that focuses on Fisher's racing days in the 1950s. One of the biggest wins of Fisher's career was the 1953 Laconia 100-mile national championship.
He went off the blacktop onto the sand, and then he went off the sand onto the blacktop on a 90-degree turn, which got pretty slippy. But if you learn to maneuver that good, well, that's where you make good time.
Fisher stopped racing professionally in 1957 and was voted into the American Motorcyclists Association Hall of Fame in 2002.
You can't say, well, I think I've done something better than everybody else, but it's being recognized as one of the top competitors during your day.
Means a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Strapped in tight and taking flight. Seniors held on as they zip-lined across Camelback Mountain Resort near Tannersville. One of those brave souls was first-timer Ruth Marshall. Why did you want to go ziplining?
I know someone told me I could. I'm only 97, so he figured I could do it.
The seniors came all the way from a retirement community in Bucks County. For the past 3 years, senior citizens from the place in Doylestown have come to Camelback Mountain Adventures with one goal in mind: ziplining.
Actually, one resident a few years ago just said out of the blue, you know, I always wanted to zip line, and we're like, what? And we're like, okay, so we had to make it happen, so we did.
This was Claire Banford's first time ziplining, and she's looking forward to the next time.
Just left out a little yell when I got started, but then I enjoyed the view.
It takes 70 seconds for zipliners to get down the mountain, and that's about a 900-foot drop.
Richard Miller says this experience was similar to his days as a paratrooper, but a lot calmer.
The view is unbelievable at the top and then coming down, and the whole thing. It's really fun.
A little bit afraid of heights, and I thought it'd be frightened, but just so strapped in all, I felt perfectly safe. I didn't even feel a flutter of fear.
For Ruth Marshall and other seniors, facing their fears led to an experience they won't soon forget. Alan Vickers, Newswatch 16, Monroe County. For Mark Sassani, Each paint stroke is in honor of a veteran. We caught up with the artist as he and a few others painted a wall mural on the side of the VFW in Mount Carmel.
A lot of people died for America and for our freedoms and our liberties, and these guys, they all put their time in and, tried to help our country, and I think that's important to me.
Sassani tells Newswatch 16 he has been working on the mural for 2 weeks. He painted emblems for each branch of the military under the mural.
I wanted to give something to the VFWs for the vets because, like I mentioned to you before, my dad, several uncles, 3 brothers were all in the military in various branches.
This mural is called America the Beautiful. It depicts a mountain landscape that people can also find outside of Mount Carmel.
It's a local landscape from over near Lavelle, although it looks a little different than this if you're at the site because, as I mentioned to you before, I tilted the landscape forward so that we could see more of the mountains.
John Minnick says veterans can look at the wall mural and reflect.
We appreciate everything that anybody does for the veterans, no matter who they are, and especially someone with Mark's talent.
An artist's work is never done. Next, Sassani plans to paint other patriotic paintings inside the VFW in Mount Carmel. Wet weather was not going to stop the first Fish for the Fallen Derby at Patriots Cove near Knoxon. 4 teams made up of mostly veterans did their best to catch trout during the competition along Beaver Run in Wyoming County. As a veteran, Jeff Swire says the goal of the competition is to remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice.
Those of us that know we've lost our brothers in combat or other places fighting fires or out on our streets in our communities, the goal is to never let them fade away.
Organizers say Patriots Cove is a place for veterans and their families to unwind.
Men and women always ran to nature when they came home from battle because it was peaceful and calming. It felt safe, it felt natural. Here we provide that very same thing. We get them back out into nature, show them that they can still do some of the things that they thought they couldn't do before.
Navy veteran Ken Foster isn't an experienced fly fisherman, but he ended up landing a 12-inch brook trout.
The company has been great, so that's kind of what it's all about for me, spending time with other people that get to know other folks. My guide, he was in the Navy too, so we got hit it off that way, and we're able to interact and tell some sea stories.
As veterans tried to land trout, their guides carried pictures of 4 area servicemen who had fallen in the line of duty. Jack Cleary lost his son Michael in Iraq.
Of course, that means a lot. And my son Mike was, he loved to fish. Mike was killed in action in 2005, and he loved to fish.
I think just being out in the nature, and just that connection, and just thinking about those folks that have made this, done that so that we could do things like this. We tend to forget things like that sometimes, and we need to be remembered,
Tracker, Kodiak, and Tucker. These 3 German Shepherds are treated like any other dogs, only for them playtime is mostly behind the walls of a state prison. Their handlers are inmates. It's all part of the Pause for a Cause program at SCI Waymart.
I just want to change the way I am and help change other people's lives. I think this is a great way to do it.
Since November, 6 inmates have been working with the 3 dogs, training them to become service dogs for veterans.
You're helping somebody really in need, I think, is the coolest part, because it's like I said, you're surprised at how much a dog can do. Like, I didn't know a lot of this stuff that I'm learning here, and just to see the results in a way is just awesome.
Kodiak and his handler demonstrated some of the skills they're working on, from retrieving an item to creating space for a veteran in a crowded setting.
To basically help them get through a normal day for anybody else, and because it's harder for people who have PTSD or autism. To train a dog to do these kinds of things, I think is just really cool.
These guys really want to be here, and they really want to participate in it. And it's the inmates we have in the program really want to be here for the dogs.
Officials at SCI Waymart say Tracker, Kodiak, and Tucker could be finished with the program in the late fall, being one step closer to helping a veteran. Alan Vickers, Newswatch 16, Wayne County.